Hi, hello and welcome back to Formula 1 Randomized, the series where I race random Formula 1 cars from random Formula 1 seasons on random racetracks, be they Formula 1 or otherwise, with a few fictional circuits thrown in there for good measure. Last week we tried racing the 1987 cars around the 1956 Buenos Aires circuit and it was quite wild. But it is Friday once again, which means we have a new challenge, and this week's suggestion comes from a user by the name of, I hope I get this right, Since Vengeance, I guess, maybe? Please tell me that was correct. Anyway, they requested I race the 2018 cars around the old Hockenheim. And since there were no specifics, I decided to go with the McLaren, and in terms of Hockenheim, I decided to use the 1964 through 1969 layout. So this should be fun. And here on the grid waiting to start this week's challenge. So let's see, we are starting from 17th. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. And we are off again, starting from 17th with random grids, and the game starts lagging immediately. Marcus Ericsson actually crashed into me, and that caused me to lose my rear wing, and I didn't really want to restart the race and re-record the entire thing because I wanted to actually record a different race than this, but I encountered some problems. I had to keep fixing the field of view and camera position, and for some reason the cars just took a whole lot of time to load, and it took me like 5 or 6 tries until I got it. And after that the game was just very laggy. The race was supposed to be in Monaco, and for some reason the game was very laggy, so I decided to try and do this race instead. So let's see how we do. And obviously, since I don't have a rear wing, I immediately lose the rear of the car as we reach the fast right-hander. There's no chicane there, not yet at least. The chicane was introduced in 1970, and the layout we are racing on today was used up until 1969, so this is the, I think this is the original layout of the circuit, the very first layout for the track as we come into the stadium section. And here I'm struggling to control the car, not doing a very good job of it, but hey ho, right? Really trying to focus here, and I lose the car again. Not much to do about it again, since I'm missing my rear wing. I could go into the pits, but that takes like I think 40 to 45 seconds to replace, so I decided not to, which means we will be racing with only a front wing, at least for the time being. I'll soon lose my front wing as well, I believe. I'm not quite sure. But this was quite a frustrating race to record as well. But at least it wasn't as laggy as the Monaco Grand Prix, although we did have that little bit of lag at the beginning of the race. And here I lose control of the car and smash into, I believe that's a hay bale. I can't really tell because there are only like 2 or 3 pixels on that object, but hey ho, once again, let's get moving. We are falling far behind, but after all we are in a McLaren, so being in 20th and 15 seconds behind everyone else, that's kind of what McLaren tend to do nowadays, so that's not a big problem, I would say so. Anyway, we are now on lap 2. And for some reason this car only goes up into 7th gear, which is quite weird because modern Formula 1 cars have 8 gears. I believe we've had 8 gears since 2014. So why it is stuck in 7th gear, I don't know. I was trying to actually shift up into 8th, but there is no 8th gear. So whoever is working on these newer seasons for F1 Challenge VB should look into it and, you know, program in the 8th gear, because it's kind of annoying that you don't have all your gears, and it's obviously very unrealistic. Anyway, here we are the second time through the stadium section coming out of Stud, Kurva Stud there, Stud curve even, and we are starting the final lap as I come through North curve, and I go very wide. I kind of forget that I was missing my front left wheel and I crashed. I don't know what I'm talking about. What I meant to say is I forgot that I was missing my wings and tried to go through that corner the way you would go normally, and that caused me to go wide, crash into the hay bale, lose my front left, and I decided to try and finish the race anyway. And those particle effects are absolutely fantastic. They are the best particle effects I've ever seen. Said no one ever. You know, if you cannot make particle effects, you don't know how to make particle effects, just don't do them. I know they're hard, they're very hard. I tried making particle effects myself, and it's very, very difficult to get them right. So if you don't know how, just don't do them, because you get something like this and it looks very ugly and annoying, and oh well. I guess today's video was more about me rambling about the shortcomings of the game, or rather the mod, instead of talking about what was going on in the race, although not much was going on in the race because the interesting parts happened at the beginning, so yeah. And this really wasn't a very good race. Yeah, I really don't know what else to say as we come around to cross the line and finish this race and this week's challenge. Yeah, really don't know what to say about any of this. It wasn't enjoyable, it was quite the opposite. But anyway, let's move on, and here are the results. Lewis Hamilton wins the race with Valtteri Bottas second, third Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen fourth, fifth was Kimi Raikkonen, Daniel Ricciardo sixth, seventh Kevin Magnussen, Sergio Perez eighth, ninth was Nico Hülkenberg, Lance Stroll 10th. So those are the people who finished the race, top 10 at least, and here is everyone else. Actually, pretty everyone managed to finish the race, including myself, with a completely destroyed McLaren. But yeah, that was the 2018 cars around the 1964 Hockenheim, 1964 through 1969 Hockenheim. What can I say? It wasn't fun because the car was damaged right from the word go, so it was quite difficult to get around this circuit without wings. But I'm pretty sure that if the car was intact, would have been intact, the race would have been a little bit better and a little bit more enjoyable. But this is how things worked out in the end, so hi ho. That's the third time I said that today. I don't know what's going on with me. I guess this is just because I'm really, really tired. Anyway, this is my first video since I started my new job. Well, this would be the second video this week, but the first one was the one where I announced the fact that I was working, so that doesn't really count, at least not in my mind. And I will try to finish the British Grand Prix for the Career Series by Sunday, I hope, so keep an eye out for that as well. But yeah, anyways, thank you to Since Vengeance for suggesting this car and truck combo. It could have been fun, but I started off on the wrong foot and it kind of went downhill from there. But anyways, don't forget to continue sending in your suggestions. As I always say, the more the merrier. And that is it for this week's Formula 1 Randomized. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching. Catch you all on the next week's show. But until then, take care and stay sharp.